Join us as we cross Canada to celebrate innovative nations leading the way in community planning. Coast to coast, we will explore the 7 C's of community planning: culture and languages, community-driven, nation-based, community engagement, communication, collaboration, connection, and commitment. Community-led planning is central to good governance and nation rebuilding. By bringing the voices of citizens together to explore the past, acknowledge the present, and envision the future, Indigenous communities and nations across the country are rebuilding themselves and creating positive, lasting change. When the hamlet of Cambridge Bay began their community-led planning process, they understood every voice matters. They created councils to give elders and youth the opportunity to speak about their dreams and hopes for the future. Through this engagement, the hamlet of Cambridge Bay began implementing priorities.
My name is Tammy Mulgueto. I am from Cambridge Bay. Cambridge Bay is located in northern Canada on Victoria Island in the Kitikmeot region of Nunavut. With about 2,000 residents, it's the largest settlement on Victoria Island. The traditional name for the area is Iqiluktutia, meaning good fishing place. Inuit moved to Iqiluktutia, Nunavut, over 70 years ago. Before that, we lived a traditional lifestyle on the land. Prior to beginning community-led planning, most planning work in Cambridge Bay was done by senior management. After hearing about the benefits of Indigenous community-led planning at a workshop in Regina in 2018, staff at Cambridge Bay started thinking about how to put the new planning approach in place. The goal of staff was to encourage leadership and community to create a plan that would build trust and be based on local values, protocols, needs, and preferences of the people. They were able to get funding from the federal government for this process, which allowed them to hire a planning coordinator, organize a planning team, and support the engagement process. Community-led planning in Cambridge Bay involved many meetings with Qiluqtut, including elders, youth, staff, and citizens. Together we chose a symbol for the community plan, the Arctic cotton. The seeds of the Arctic cotton represent the future, the flowers represent the people, the stem represents all that we need to survive and grow, and the roots represent our heritage and our strength. The seeds, or ideas for the future, started emerging early in the planning process. Elders, who are called ananas or grandmothers in Inuit, and youth each asked for their own planning committee so that they could meet regularly and talk together about their priorities for the future. The community engagement work resulted in the creation of both the Mayor's Youth Advisory Committee and the Mayor's Elder Advisory Committee. As the Ananas began to meet, they shared that they were tired of talking and wanted to start getting things done. One of their priorities was to create a place to gather, talk, share traditional teachings and practices, and be on the land. The planning team started working to implement this idea right away instead of waiting for the whole planning process to be finished. They found a piece of municipal land with abandoned homes on it. After some discussions with the municipality, they all agreed that the land could be used by the Ananas. When the Ananas camp was first set up, the Ananas used it to gather and keep Inuit culture alive. Over time, the community members started to come to Ananas camp and visit and enjoy bannock and tea together. Pregnant women, new mothers, children, and youth started coming to the camp to learn about their ancestors and culture by listening to, observing, and practicing their traditional ways with the elders and ulus. We are in a time now where the last Ananas who grew up on the land speaking fluent Inuit, living traditional Inuit lives are passing. With this passing, we are losing the skills and practices that shape our culture from one generation to the next. This makes the Ananas camp so very important to us. Through storytelling, traditional sewing, plucking and gutting geese, fleshing seal hides, and filleting fish, especially Arctic char, which is so important to us, visitors to the camp continue building their knowledge of the cultural, social, economic, and traditional importance of following these ways in the community. They even bring seals to the camp so that they can learn how to skin and prepare them. The community-led plan and work at Ananas Camp are based on Inuit societal values. These are principles based on Inuit Qayumatuqangit, which aim to incorporate traditional Inuit knowledge into modern everyday practices. By being at Ananas Camp, visitors and Ananas keep their Inuit way of life alive and share more about Inuktitut Siangnik, respecting others and caring for people, Biitsungnik, serving and providing for family and community, and Bilimaksangnik, learning and mastering skills through observation, mentoring, practice, and effort. The Ananas Camp is a place to connect to the culture, to ancestors, and to each other. Every year on September 30th, a sharing circle is held at the camp. Together we honor the children who never returned home, the survivors whose childhoods were stolen, and the families of survivors who feel the impacts of the schools to this day. We all come together with the community to remember the past and support each other in moving forward. There is even a survivor's cabin at the camp. The Ananas Camp emerged from our community-led planning process and our Inuit Qayumitakwangit. The camp has become an important place for our people to learn, remember, practice, and share the language and culture and teachings of our people, as well as to find connection and purpose. We must continue this important work so that we can keep providing space for our people to come together to hold our Inuit societal values while mapping out and implementing our future.